Well, more than 600 roads remain closed tonight across western North Carolina, nearly 3 weeks after Helene hit. The North Carolina Department of Transportation warning not to travel to these heavily impacted areas unless it's essential. Well, today, U.S. Secretary of Transportation Pete Buttigieg joining North Carolina Governor Roy Cooper, touring some of the areas hardest hit. Fox Carolina's Alexa Urbach followed the secretary. Tonight, she's explaining how he plans to address the state's most critical needs.
It's one thing to see a photo, it's another to stand here and look at just the shocking, destructive power of this storm.
U.S. Secretary of Transportation Pete Buttigieg visiting a section of I-40 on the border of Tennessee and North Carolina completely swept away by floods during Helene. He says the road to recovery is built not just on restoring infrastructure, but making it more resilient.
Around here, it's going to be everything from figuring out when a road needs to go on higher ground to making sure that the evacuation routes are available according to what the future of hurricanes looks like, not the past.
The North Carolina Department of Transportation says 500 bridges were damaged during the storm. Around 100 will have to be replaced.
We will prioritize those based on things like traffic volume, singular access to communities.
The Secretary of Transportation's first stop was right here in the River Arts District in Asheville, where he was able to take a tour of the studios completely destroyed by Helene.
I'm moved by the determination of the people I've met here to have a future for this River Arts District and for this community.
The Secretary also making a stop in Canton, North Carolina, meeting with Mayor Zeb Smathers about flood damage.
The last flood was 23 feet in '04. That was the record. 3 years ago, 18 feet. This one, 28.
Bottom line is making sure that our infrastructure is as flexible and as durable as the spirit of the people that we're serving here.
Governor Roy Cooper echoing the Secretary's call for a change in infrastructure.
We've got to stop this nonsense of trying to weaken building codes and understand that we are living in an environment influenced by climate change where these storms are going to be more ferocious and more frequent.
Buttigieg says when it comes to reopening towns to tourists, he will take his cues from local officials.
The whole country is rooting for Asheville and for all the communities that were affected. And I do think that as and when it becomes possible for more and more places to receive visitors to be back up and running, there's going to be an outpouring of support.
Alexa Urbach, Fox Carolina News.
Well, so far, the U.S. Department of Transportation's allocated $100 million to North Carolina. The secretary says when Congress reconvenes, he's going to push for funds for all of the states impacted by Helene.